Hello, welcome to module number 6, which is the module on information ethics and risk management. And as I normally do, before previewing this, I did want to go back and do a quick review from last week. What did we learn from module 5, IT project management and implementation? So I think there were some key things here. First of all, we talked about the systems development life cycle. And the SDLC is a series of stages that all IT projects go through as they start from a planning stage all the way through implementation. And so I think this helped to inform us that there are certain things that need to be done on any IT project, and you really can't cut corners. So, for example, you need to do analysis. You need to do a thorough job of that, defining the requirements, and you can't cut corners at the back end. Things like testing. So we talked about the SDLC. We also talked about the importance of change management when implementing projects. The Amagansett Funds case was a great illustration of this. The investment company tried to implement a well-designed CRM package, but the users resisted it because they didn't see the benefit to them personally. There were some usability issues with the software, and so since they didn't address those things, there was a wide level of resistance, and so it flopped the first time around. So change management is something that's very essential in implementing IT projects. So we learned that. The Maine Medicaid case was a good real-world project case. It's good from the standpoint, not the outcome, but good from the standpoint there's a good teaching case. And what we learned from that, it helps to illustrate that there are really 4 major areas why IT projects fail. People. So in the case of the Maine system, there was a custom development system they were doing. They lacked skill sets or expertise in certain areas. Process-related issues, there are a lot of mistakes there. Lack of testing, poor estimation, not getting users involved. So process issues, product-related issues, scope creep. I think probably overly complex project given the skill sets they had. And then finally, technology. They were dealing with a novel technology that I don't think they had much experience in. But if you look at the reasons why the main case failed, primarily people and process-related, which is consistent with the article we read. We also looked at build versus buy decisions. So do you do custom development? Do you build software with your own in-house group, or do you buy a package? What are the pros and cons of that? If you custom develop it, we did talk about agile versus waterfall approaches. We talked about outsourcing as an approach. There are different types of outsourcing. So software as a service, getting someone to develop the software for you. And so that was a good informative module. And so, again, I think that, as I mentioned last week, it's something that I think touches on a lot of you, just because so many of us are involved in either from a user standpoint or from an IT standpoint in the rollout of new applications. And oftentimes they're very challenging. So hopefully this module helped you to provide some best practices when you can recognize when projects are going astray and what the reasons are for that, and then what steps you can take for corrective action. Which leads us to our final module this week, what I just wanted to preview quickly, which is on information ethics and risk management. So we're going to wrap things up with this module. There's really 2 parts to this. The first part of Module 6 will talk about information security. So we'll look at some best practices. So what are best practices and how organizations can secure their organizational data? And what we're going to learn is it really boils down to risk management. So mitigating risk, identifying what the risks are to your information, prioritizing those risks, implementing measures or controls to mitigate risks. I'm going to talk about 3 different types of controls: technology, policies and procedures, and training and awareness. And what we'll see, hopefully we'll see from this module, is that technology can only do so much to protect your data. There's also the people side. So you have to implement measures to influence the way people think and to get them to take security seriously, because if you don't, you're going to lose every time. If you go back to the Foster Technology Panel video we watched at the beginning of the semester, one of the participants mentioned that the social engineering or getting people to click on a bogus email, those are the types of things that they have trouble dealing with. And we'll also learn that you can't mitigate risk 100% when it comes to information security, but you can do a good job clamping down in areas that are high profile risks. We'll look at TJX as a case, the TJX data breach, and we'll use that as a case analysis to help illustrate concepts. And then the second part of this final module will be on information ethics, and really the notion that we've talked about all the great opportunities and all the benefits of technology. There's really a flip side to that, where technology is creating challenges, and will continue to create challenges, socially, ethically. There's a lot of talk now about autonomous vehicles, so job replacement, workers losing jobs. We'll talk about a concept called the law of disruption. Larry Downs out of Harvard mentions that, and basically the law of disruption says that technology progresses geometrically. So we see all these new technologies coming out rapidly, but yet our social, political, economic, cultural institutions change incrementally. So basically, for example, legal and political institutions can't. They're playing catch up to technology. So you have 3D bioprinting, for example, and so there really aren't any laws in place to govern that. So it's technology gets ahead of our ability to keep up with it as a society. So that's the law of disruption. We'll talk about that. One of the things we'll touch on is privacy. That's been a huge issue. There are a lot of people that say there is no privacy. The horse has left the barn. We'll look at an article called "The Dark Side of Customer Analytics." It's a Harvard case about a grocery store chain sharing data, or trying to enter into data sharing arrangement with an insurance company to basically try to do correlations between diet for those from reward card data from the grocery store chain with those same people who are insured by them, to develop a correlation between diet and claims. And so that's just packed with ethical issues there. So with this big data revolution and all the data that companies have to learn everything about you and me, what are the ethical issues associated with that? So we'll touch on that, and that will do it for the semester. Once you're done this week with this sixth module, and then there'll be the final project, and then we'll be done. So I wore my official Baylor shirt with my logo up here for the last module overview. So I've enjoyed the time spent with the class, and hope you finish strong. And please let me know if you have any questions. Bye.